Welcome to this class entitled How to Self-Publish a Draft Proof of Your Manuscript. My name is Lynne Marshall, and I'm hoping to entice you to try these methods. Let's write our ancestors' stories now. As I mentioned in the previous book template class, I transitioned from a 40-year genealogy failure to 9-book fortunate author in 8 years. During the 60th year of my life, the ancestors mandated that I publish at least 1 book each year. I suddenly understood that the strategies I developed for the statistics class I taught for 10 years at the California Highway Patrol could be tweaked for writing genealogy books. Hence, the book template from my previous MAAGI class, produced The Ancestors Are Smiling in July 2017. My first book was about the descendants of my 2-time great-grandfather Otho Williams, and I was so happy. People always ask me, though, why I just don't secure an agent to find a publisher to print my books. Truthfully, I would love to be published by the History Press, but that could take longer than a year to get the printed book done. And in this day of anti-diversity, equality, and inclusion, I don't think many agents will accept my proposal for a book about black slavery. No, I need to finish my ancestors' mandate to publish 1 book per year while I still have enough brain power to do it. So in 2017, with the initial help from my genealogy buddy, author and genealogist Denise Griggs, I learned how to self-publish my ancestors' stories, and I've been proselytizing to other Afro-American genealogists to do the same ever since. So, let's find out about you. How many of you have already had a publisher publish your book? Just raise your hand. How many of you have self-published a book? How many of you have no idea what self-publishing is? Let's demystify the book publishing process today. Did you know that there are lots of options for printing your family stories, not just a paperback, hardback, or ebook? The easiest way, in my opinion, is to print your formatted manuscript, like what we talked about in the book template class. Print it on your home printer. Calculating the costs for a box of books printed on a laser printer, I estimate that a 50-page back-to-back draft book would cost about $4.50, including the paper and a laser printer toner cartridge. If you put each 50-page back-to-back printed manuscript into a $12 3-hole punch binder, the cost would be about $16.50. Number 3. Or it's $6 if you upload your PDF file to a local print business at 6 cents per page. Add a $12 binder, and the cost might be about $18 for 1 copy of your book printed at a local printer. If you are uncomfortable with the self-publishing method I'm going to show you in a few minutes, you could consider a hybrid publisher. They generally charge around $2,000 or more to edit, format, and publish your book for you. An example of a company that I would trust is called booklocker.com. It's one of the companies that offers a quarterly short story writing contest that I like to enter. BookLocker charges $2,350 for what they call the works. That includes proofreading 25,000 words, and if you have more than 25,000 words, it's 0.025 cents for each additional word. Most people I know write books that are about 50,000 words. So you can do the math on that. BookLocker takes care of formatting and designing your cover, copyright registration, book trailer, publishing your book, keyword analysis, listing your book on their website, as well as giving you free book selling and marketing advice booklets. Number 5, I don't know how much agent to publisher, how much that method costs because I've never done it, but I understand that generally you only make about $2 per book sold from a traditional publisher. And number 6, if you won the lottery, you could pay a ghostwriter thousands of dollars to interview you and write your book, format it, and publish the book for you. But yeah, it's way up there. It's $50 to $500 per page. That's really expensive. But that's an option, and they will do everything for you. One of my favorite options is photo books. I have self-published 9 paperbacks on Amazon and other online booksellers since 2017. That's also ebooks in addition to the paperbacks. But guess what? Since 2007, I've created 33 hardbound books. 10 are travelogues, 4 are from genealogy trips, 15 are memoirs, and 2 are for marketing my books and art. Did you know that you can create a 20-page, high-quality color book from Walgreens for $15 when it's on sale? Sometimes they have 75% off. That's when I buy 20 books for Christmas gifts. Shutterfly.com is another company, and it's a touch better quality than Walgreens, but it's a little more expensive. Now, keep in mind that Costco uses Shutterfly products. Very, very high-quality projects. Photo books are a wonderful option. So tell me this, can you write 20 pages about your parents, including genealogical documents and pictures amongst the narrative? Any colors you want, any fonts you like, you can do that with a photo book. I taught my preteen grandchildren how to make memory books, like when they stayed with me for a week a couple of years ago. So this is a great option that I always mention in my talks, but nobody seems to try it. If you get on the mailing list for these companies, you can get 50%, 60%, or sometimes 75% off the regular price. Now, you want a real book? Guess what? Legal expert genealogist Janice Sellers says that publishing a photo book is a valid published book. Okay? And you might even be able to store that in libraries as a real book. You might want to give it a try or at least check it out. Another print option for capturing your family history is called an ancestor poster. I learned about this from the Sons and Daughters of the United States Middle Passage. You can describe the focus person. In this case, that's my 3 times great-grandmother, Margaret Booker, who was born enslaved in 1834 in Beverly, Randolph County, Virginia. There is a section that contains information about her birth, death, and marriage. There's another segment about her enslavement that's shown in orange. And then there's a light gray segment in the lower left that talks about Margaret's probable parents. There's a section about her spouse, Hugh Booker, and her 5 children on the left side, which includes a photo of my 2 times great-grandfather, Joseph Booker, who was reportedly the son of the enslaver, John Earl. There is a segment about how I determined who the enslaver was. So, could you see yourself creating ancestor posters like this for many of your families, and then including them in a book of ancestor portraits? They could be printed on your home printer, or a local printer, or uploaded to a self-publisher like Kindle. So this is another great option for what you could do with all of your research. Check it out. Oh. So what is self-publishing anyway? You keep talking about this, but I have no idea what you're really talking about. Okay, type your manuscript on your computer. I prefer to start using my book project, day 1, using the book template methodology that I discussed in my previous class. Save or export your draft manuscript as a PDF file on your computer. Then open that PDF file and check each and every page to make sure the formatting is correct. Make sure you don't have a title in the middle of the page and all that. And if it looks okay, the placement of the images looks fine, you've got margins on every page, on, and make sure you put the page numbers in your template, then you're ready to go. So why not start today using a formatted draft? Because you can print a formatted draft book anytime if you do it this way. and it's for less than a Starbucks coffee. It's going to cost you like $5 to print this on Amazon's Kindle, including a cover. $5, that's it. It's crazy. The best feeling in the world is receiving your early draft in the mail. You can touch it and see that your family stories are coming to life. Okay, so you upload the manuscript PDF from your computer through the internet to a print-on-demand self-publishing company like Kindle. There are many other companies. I use Kindle because it's the easiest. It's owned by Amazon. Most people have an Amazon account already. It's just super simple to use that service. But there are other ones you could consider. So like you could use lulu.com, Lulu.com. That's an independent company. So it's not the monster Amazon. All you have to do is choose the book size, the color, the quality of the paper that you want, whether or not you want a glossy or matte finish on your cover. Then you get to choose the price that you want to charge for your book. It's going to show you how much revenue you will receive for each book sold. So generally, it's 60% of the retail price minus the small cost to actually print it. So for example, if you choose a $20 retail price for your book and the book actually costs $5 to print, then you would get 60% of the $15 that's left. Your net revenue would be about $9 for every book you sell on Amazon for $20. So you get an idea of how much you might make. It's not a lot of money, but it's better than a sharp stick in the eye. Different self-publishing companies have similar pricing structures. Or, and this is for those of us who really don't want to sell our books. We don't want to get into marketing. We just want to have a nice book that looks great that we can hand our families and our friends, maybe store in some library somewhere. So if that's you, check this out. You can buy a box of what they call author copies for the $5 cost to print each book. And it's about $15 if you buy an entire box of books. So that's about 50 cents to mail this box anyway, it's really inexpensive. If you buy a box of 30 books, 30 times $5 each is $150, and your shipping is almost going to be free. It's just not much money at all. You can sell those author copies directly, meaning just hand it to your family, hand it to your friends, or you can go to book signings, right? You can sell those books from your website for whatever price you wish. They're only going to charge you $5 for it, but you can turn around and sell it for $20 and make $15 on it if you're interested in doing that. So if someone at a vendor show buys your $20 retail book, you would make $14.50. That's not too bad. Now, I'm not in business personally to make money off of my family's stories, but you know what? Genealogy is a really expensive hobby if you're having to travel like I do from California back on the East Coast to spend 10 days, to spend money on a hotel, on a car rental. For me, it's $2,500 to $3,000 for every genealogy trip. So yes, it might be nice to be able to make some money off of the books just to reimburse myself. But anyway, my understanding with a traditional publisher is that you make about $2 per book if the traditional publisher sells it for you. So that's a huge difference right there. Self-publishing, you're going to get a lot more money for that effort. Just keep it in mind. Why do I love self-publishing so much? Well, number one, you don't have to write dozens of proposals or blurb book ideas and suffer through the rejections when you're trying to find an agent that loves your book concept. I just have heard terrible stories about these people that they send out hundreds of these proposals and they come back, no thanks. And again, DEI is out nowadays. So I don't even know how many folks are going to even want to write a book that's about anything African American, but you might find one. Number two, you don't have to wait months or years for your agent to find a publisher who will print your book, baby. Number three, you don't have to write your book as others want you to write it. You can write your book like you want to write it. Number four, you don't have to wait for a publisher to edit it the way they want it to read. You lose a lot of power when you have a publisher do your book. Number 5, you don't have to accept the cover that a publisher thinks is best for your book. Number 6, you don't have to pay thousands of dollars for a hybrid publisher or a traditional publisher. Wait, you thought a publisher was supposed to give you thousands of dollars for your book? Okay. Number 7, you don't have to wait a year or more for steps 1 through 6 to be completed. Number 8, you don't have to wait for your publisher to get around to correcting errors in the book that's already been published, and there are always errors, no matter who edits your book. There are always errors, and sometimes it's hard to get the publisher to correct them. Number 9, you don't have to question where your revenues are from the sales of your book. I've heard horror stories of these people that say they never get any kind of money from these publishers. Even though they know they've sold books, they don't get the money. Number 10, if you are a self-publisher, you're in control of your own book content and revenues. That's why I love self-publishing. But that's just me. So on the flip side, what are the cons of self-publishing? Some people perceive that a self-published book is less professional. So tell that to E.L. James, author of 50 Shades of Grey, or Margaret Atwood, who wrote The Handmaid's Tale, or Andy Weir, who penned The Martian. If your formatting is correctly done and you've hired a good editor to ensure there are no grammar and spelling mistakes, a self-published book can win awards. 5 of my books have won multiple awards in local, national, and international book competitions. Self-published does not have to mean junk. You must learn basic manuscript formatting, like I shared in my book template class. You must open a free account with a self-publisher, like Amazon Kindle, and you must provide a short book description, keywords, book categories, the price, etc. But you only have to do those steps once for every book you self-publish. And I'm going to show you in a video at the end of this class so you can see exactly what self-publishing is. You must also create a book cover or pay someone to create one for you. You have to export it to a PDF file, which is super simple. Then you have to upload it to the self-publishing company. Again, super simple. I'll show you in the video. You must handle your own marketing, but that's not much different than a paid publisher who doesn't adequately market your book anyway. What's tough for everyone is getting people who have read your book to leave a 5-star rating and reviews. That's really hard. That's my biggest problem. Honestly, I must do a better job on the last page of my books to encourage my readers to leave a review online. That's so important to get to have some nice ratings so that people can say, oh, that does look like a good book that people enjoy. But anyway, that's are the cons in my book. But I want a professional genealogy book. I've heard people exclaim that being self-published means your book is shoddy. So if your goal is to be on the New York Times bestseller list, you probably should go the traditional publishing route, honestly. If you aren't comfortable using your computer to type your manuscript and you don't want to seek your own editor, go pro. If you have thousands of dollars to give someone to do the work for you, by all means, go the regular route. But if you are comfortable with basic word processing tools for simple formatting, try self-publishing. It's darn near free. I explained in my book template class how beneficial it is to use a book template day 1 of a book project. The template outlines your topic and keeps you on track. It gives you a place to put your research documents and narrative analysis. But the biggest benefit is being able to print your draft whenever you want. It's hard to describe the joy of holding your partial book in progress with a real cover. But that's just my number one love of doing it. It keeps me going. I see that I'm making success and I want to finish. There are many self-publishing sites, not just the monster Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing. However, kdp.amazon.com is the easiest and most economical way to self-publish a paperback, ebook, or hardbound book, in my opinion. Millions of booksellers sell on Amazon, but there are some other on-demand booksellers that I know about. Lulu is an independent print-on-demand company. lulu.com/create. They do paperbacks, ebooks, hardbacks, spiral bound, and linen wrap. I've used them several times for my drafts. It's a very good company, so check them out if you don't want to do business with the monster Amazon. Ingram Spark. That used to be the only game in town for self-publishers. And they are really important. If you want to get into bookstores, libraries, and some other places online, you have to go through Ingram Spark. They won't accept your book from Amazon. So anyway, if you want to sell in those bookstores, you need to self-publish with Ingram Spark before you publish on Amazon. That's even if you buy what's called an ISBN code. Those are the black vertical lines on the back of every book. You can buy your own so you can sell your book any darn place you want to, or you can use Amazon's free one or lulu.com's free ISBN. But anyway, I'll get into that later. I found Ingram Spark incredibly difficult to use. It was so hard. Amazon Kindle does paperbacks, ebooks, and hardbound books. kdp.amazon.com. Draft2digital.com. I haven't personally used that platform yet, but a friend of mine swears by them. She says if you self-publish with draft2digital.com, you can be accepted in bookstores, on Barnes & Noble, on Amazon even. So at some point in the future, I may check them out. AALBC stands for the African American Literary Book Club. So buy black. And so what you can do is you can get your books on AALBC. They charge a nominal initial fee if you want to have a web page. But hey, check them out. Just go look at it, aalbc.com, and see there's like thousands of black books on there. Ideally, we would be buying our books from them instead of buying black books on Amazon, right? So please check them out and see if that floats your boat. One of the steps you will have to complete before publishing your book is writing some verbiage for the back jacket of your book. Intrigue readers without giving away major plot points, though. Use strong verbs and nouns and align the tone with your book's genre. Make your opening line count. The blurb, that's what they call the back jacket stuff, the blurb should offer a snapshot of the book's central themes and entice readers to want to learn more. It's helpful if you research and understand your target audience so that you can craft an engaging hook that entices the reader to buy the book. Last, write a concise and intriguing summary. Highlight key ideas and do all of that within 150 words. That's what the experts suggest. Just keep it to 150 words and include a photo of yourself and a short author biography. So it sounds simpler than it is, but those are that's the gist of what the back jacket should. So what I suggest you do is start now, even though it may be at the beginning of your book project. Try to write a little something about your book that really summarizes what you think it's going to be. And of course, you'll be manipulating it and massaging it as you find more and more about your family to finish it off. Here's a sample of a blurb for one of the books that I'm working on. Born in the shadow of the Civil War, Grammy Ella Roy Carter was a woman who defied expectations. In a time when black women were confined to the margins, Ella carved out a life of quiet dignity and unexpected elegance in Mount Vernon, Ohio. Her charming gingerbread house with its vibrant flower beds and opulent Tiffany lamps and mahogany furnishings whispered of a life lived on her own terms. But behind Ella's warm smile and serene demeanor lay a lifetime of untold stories and hidden struggles. What secrets did she guard beneath her carefully cultivated image? Ella's descendants yearned to understand her enigmatic past. Was she just a hard worker, a beneficiary of a forgotten inheritance, or related by blood to a wealthy family? Discover how one woman, armed with grace and determination, navigated the complexities of her era and created a legacy that would inspire generations to come. Again, I encourage you all to do the same for your book in progress. Write a 150-word description of the book you think you would like to watch, that you would like to read. In order for you to really understand what this class is kind of to do it. Just try it once. So I'd like to encourage everyone to create an Amazon account. If you don't already have one, who doesn't have an Amazon account? It's necessary to have it to try this darn near free self-publishing process today. And again, it's not mandated, but I'd love for you to just try it, and that way you could see how easy self-publishing can be. Everything is a little difficult the first time you do it, okay? Everything is a little confusing the first time you try it, but you only have to do these steps once. Once you do it, and then for your second book, it'll be so easy because you've already done it once. So if you want to self-publish through Amazon's Kindle to publish and print your Kindle book, then you must join KDP as shown on the right side of this screen. Follow the link if you have questions on how to enter your author, publisher information, where they should send your book royalty payments, right? Because you're going to get paid when people buy this stuff, so you have to tell them where to send it. And your tax information for them to send you a 1099 tax form for your revenues. You only have to do this one time, okay? You can publish 100 books after that. You just have to do this once. And if you don't like the monster Amazon, don't worry. The process I'm going to show you next is similar to what you will experience with the other self-publishers, so you can just get an idea of what self-publishing is. I'm not pressing you to use Amazon's Kindle. It's just that that's the easiest and the most people use that. Step number 5 is to start a new paperback book in your Kindle bookshelf. Now, again, this is after you've opened a Kindle account. This is what your computer screen will look like once you've opened that account. And they're really, really good about having many help tools that you can look at. Like on the left, I don't know if you can see it where it's blue, it says create a book, book timelines, free ISBNs, tools and resources. Those are the help things. So if you don't know what to do, how do I create a book? You're going to click on that and it's going to have nice step-by-step instructions on how to do everything. It's really pretty slick. Step 6 is that you're going to have to create a book cover. So look at book covers in your genre. Like for genealogy, you can look up on Amazon or wherever else you want to look and just type in, African American genealogy books, if that's what you're writing. And see what the books look like, the covers look like. Look at the bestsellers in the genre that you want to write. Look at any kind of commonalities that you might see. Do they all have a picture of old people, which would simulate that those are the ancestors? What colors do some of the bestsellers seem to have in common? So do a little research on that. Many genealogy books have pictures of relatives or houses or places where they lived. Some of those bestsellers show a family tree. The covers can have a title and a subtitle. In fact, you should have a subtitle for the title of your book, in addition to the author's name. So you're going to create a cover. You can use KDP's free cover creator initially. And that's just something that you should, once you get into this system, you can play with it to your heart's content. It's really fun and it's free. Or you can create a cover using the Canva app, or you can pay someone to create a cover for you. There's all these different options, but I strongly encourage you to try the cover creator free. And that's once you get into here. And I'm going to be showing this to you in a video in a few minutes. Okay, here's some sample cover ideas. Many times I develop several different copy ideas, and then I put them on Facebook and other platforms to assess the opinions of my followers. And I ask them, which cover looks the most intriguing? Which one is something that you might want to pick up? So often their responses help me decide which cover to finalize. And even though I personally loved the blue image on the bottom row in these examples, the third one over from the left, that has the white kind of outline in there. That was my personal favorite. I absolutely love that. The survey responses all indicated that the third one from the left on the top, where it says dreamscapes, where joy, fantasy, and suspense intersect, that's the one that they all, I mean, hands down, that's what they chose. And so that's what the cover of my book looks like. And I just use that. And it's really fun because then you engage people on social media. They now know that they're part of this process and they want to buy the book. Oh, wow. Well, I want to see what's inside that book that I helped to decide, what it's going to look like. So if you have the time and money, it's probably best to hire a cover creator to develop your book cover because they know what they're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I can just do the best I can and then try to get some ideas from my friends, family, followers, etc. But yeah, ideally, you would probably have a professional do that for you if making money on your books is really important. My goal today has been to encourage you to create a partial manuscript with basic formatting so that you can self-publish a draft proof of your work in progress. Holding that partial book in your hot little hands when it comes in the mail is going to encourage you to finish the book. But what else is needed to get to the finish line? Here are some last steps, and some of this is repetitive on purpose. You need to create a book cover. So you can use kdp.com or Lulu's free cover creator, or you can use the Canva app, or you can hire someone. You must write about 150 word back jacket verbiage to entice the readers to look at your book. You need to get some beta readers from your writing groups or other genealogists. And then what that means is just ask them, would you please read my manuscript and give me feedback? I need honest feedback on what you think should be changed. Are there errors? Is there something else I need to add? Is my analysis faulty, do you think? It's real important to get people to look at your work before you finish it. It's very important to retain a professional editor to check the content, the grammar, and the spelling and proofread it so that you have as few errors. Hopefully you have no errors. Honestly, there will always be errors no matter who you hire, but you try to get rid of as many as possible. Then you export your edited manuscript and your cover to a PDF file. Then you print or publish your masterpiece and rejoice. Yay! Oh, I still haven't really shown you how exactly to publish the manuscript. Okay, well, stay tuned. It's finally time to watch me self-publish a real proof book. This is one of my real books. I really did this. The time has come for the best part of this presentation. I'm going to show you a 13-minute video that shows me actually self-publishing a draft proof of my book in progress. It moves very quickly, but you can replay it later, okay? So buckle up. This is a video showing how to create a paperback and an ebook, payment info, etc. And then here's the YouTube address that you can always look at your leisure to watch it again and again and again, to keep your, to kind of buck you up and let you know, yes, I can do that. I can do that. Here we go. I'm going to show you what self-publishing is. It is, you do not have to pay thousands of dollars. This is really basically a free process. I'm going to show you Amazon's Kindle and how to create a real book on Amazon's Kindle. And I suggest that people do it when you get about 50 pages in your manuscript, that book template manuscript. Once you get about 50 pages, that's a really good size to print your first book. So the first thing you're going to have to do, and it's just once that you'll have to do it, is you will have to create an account through kdp.amazon.com. And this is a similar process as Ingram Spark and lulu.com, and some other self-publishing companies. So you have a bookshelf. Reports will be the money that's going to be coming in. Community would be questions from other folks. And marketing is if you want to sell your books. It'll help you do that too. Create, manage, and publish. The first time you are going to get into this, you're going to want to create either a paperback or an ebook or an audiobook or a hardback book. you're going to want to create that. And so this gives you the opportunity to do that. Now, I've already created a book and I'm doing this book in progress. This is my Ella Roy, Black Contraband, and Buffalo Hunters. I want to continue the setup. I want to show you what you're going to do to create a paperback. This is what you're going to do. See these little dots over here? Edit paperback details. Okay, your first book. Let's say you've got a draft of about 50 pages and you want to go ahead and print out a draft, what they call a proof. You're going to see paperback details, paperback content, paperback rights and pricing. What's the language of your book? Click here, select the language. What's the book title? And what's the subtitle? And I do recommend that you have a subtitle. That's going to help more people find your book online. If this is a series, you're going to add it to the series. This is a first edition book that I'm printing. The author name, that would be your name right in here. So far it's pretty easy, right? If you have a contributor, like a co-author, something like that, you would put their name here. A description of your book. They give you about 3,000 characters, but I just usually put what's on the back of my book, the back jacket, which should be around 150 words. That's what I choose to put, and you can format it if you want to. Publishing rights. I own the copyright and I hold the necessary publishing rights, so I click this one. Primary audience. Is there a lot of sexual stuff in your books? You must say yes if you have it. Reading age. I generally write for people who are older than 10 and 18 and above. If you're writing children's books, put that age in there, those ages in there. The primary marketplace. You can sell anywhere in the world. Amazon.com is for America, but you can choose whichever ones you want. Categories. It's going to give you 3 different categories of books where you can sell your books, like biographies and memoirs, politics and social sciences. This is for ethnic studies, African descent, black and white. You have lots and lots and lots of options, lots of categories. Edit categories. This is where you can choose all the different ones that you want. I've mentioned the Civil War a lot in this book, so I'm going to put the Civil War as one of my 3 categories. They allow you to have 7 keywords. They're really keyword sentences, if you'll notice this example from my book. This is part of your marketing strategy, and it's very important if you're into selling books. So pay attention to keywords. Release date. When I'm done with this, I want to release my book for sale. You can save and continue. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to go to the second page. I think there are about 4 pages of things you have to fill out, but you only fill them out once. Paperback details. Now we're into paperback content. So the ISBN number is those black vertical lines on the back of books. I suggest that you start off by getting a free KDP ISBN number, especially while you're doing drafts. You want black and white print, but you want a creamy color paper or you want white paper. I think the white paper shows that better for those of us who are a little older who need more contrast, but you can play with whatever you want. You can have a fancier paper if you have color, and if you really have you really want a very fine quality, you would choose this one. They cost more. The better the paper, the more it costs. Trim size means the size of your book. This particular one initially is 8.5 by 11, but all of my books I actually publish in the 6 inches wide by 9 inches tall. That's a trade book. That is a standard size, and that costs the least of all the other sizes, but you have a million different sizes that you can choose from. Bleed and no bleed has to do with the cover, and because I make my own covers, I generally choose this. I like glossy, shiny covers. If you like a matte finish, you choose this. Okay, we're going to get into covers in a second, so don't worry about that right now. So I'm going to upload my manuscript. So that manuscript you've been working on, you've got 50 pages done already. Cool. You go to wherever it is in your computer that you have and again, you're going to have to export your book template, your manuscript, to a PDF file. Okay, so find that PDF file, click on it, double click on it, and it will go in here and you're going to hit upload manuscript. It's going to come back in about 20 seconds and say, hey, look, your book has been uploaded successfully. Yay! You can move on to the next step, which is publishing your book cover. Now there is a cover creator that's free, and I strongly suggest you just play with it. just play with it. Just play with it to see what it's all about. Launching Cover Creator. This is going to allow you to use pictures that you want. It's going to actually help you with the layout and the setup. You can choose the design, the style, and the edit. You can preview it. You can play with it again and again and again. And I strongly suggest that you play with the Cover Creator to see what it's like, because you need a cover function, but I suggest that you try it. So for me, upload a cover you already have created. It's a PDF. Remember, it's a PDF file. So I'm going to go to where on the computer I have my cover, and I'm going to click on it to upload it. Again, I'm going fast, but you can always rewind this and look at it again. It's going to go and it's going to check a few little things, and hopefully it's going to come back and say, hey, everything is fine. Oh, save successful, yay. And soon it's going to take the first page of that cover, and you'll see it in here soon. So does your cover include a barcode? In my case, I'm going to let Amazon Kindle put the barcode on the back for me. AI generated content, that's artificial intelligence. If you've used artificial intelligence, you're supposed to put yes. I do not use that, so I put no. And a book preview, you must do this. The launch previewer is going to take about 5 minutes. So understand this. It's going to look through that book file that you uploaded, and it's going to look through your cover. It's going to prepare your files, processing your manuscript and book cover to generate a print-ready file. And this requires a number of steps, and it can take several minutes. But anyway, it's going to go and check your manuscript, your trim size. If I said it's 8.5 by 11, it's going to check that to make sure that the file that I'm submitting aligns with that. All right, we're almost done. So this is the best part. This is going to show you your real book. Okay, this is your real book cover. And so these lines, these white dotted lines, that's where their system is, their printer is going to cut that off. Everything to the left or outside of that white line is going to be cut off. So the red line, they suggest that all of your print be inside the red line, and it's going to show you that spine in the middle. You have to make sure all of the lettering is inside the red line for printing, or it's going to be weird. Cool, that looks great. At this point, I can download a PDF proof, and I suggest you do that. Bam, I just clicked on down. Okay, that's really it for doing a proof. So I'm going to approve this. This is not a final or anything. It just lets us go to the next stage. It's telling you it's a black and white interior with white paper. It's going to cost $4.43 to do this. This has actually 202 pages in it. So I will save and continue. And the next page that you only have to fill out once is the territories. This deals with your rights and the pricing. All territories worldwide. I just put this. Primary marketplace for me is going to be Amazon, which is America. If I want to go somewhere else, I can click other marketplaces. That's fine. Now this is really cool. Remember, it said it's going to cost $4.43 to print this. If I say that the sales price is $15.97, it will automatically tell you, I'm going to give you, every time someone buys a book on Amazon, they're going to send me $5.15. The nice thing about this is I can change these numbers. So let's say I want to charge $19.97. Instead of $5 and something royalty, I'm going to get $7.55. You can play with that and determine how much money you want to make. We're getting near the end, folks, believe it or not. So it's saying that it can take up to 72 hours for your book to be available for purchase on Amazon. By clicking publish, I confirm that I agree to and am in compliance with KDP terms and conditions. It's really important that you do this because they can ban you from it, and you don't want to be banned. So request a book proof. This is what we want. We do not want to publish our book now. Okay, do not do this until you're positive, until you've actually edited it, having a professional editor, and it's exactly like you want it. You only want to request a proof. This is so important. Don't make the mistake. I can order, I think, up to 5 of these, for the price, wholesale price, the price to print it, $4.43. Select a marketplace. This is important, Amazon.com. I want to submit a proof request. Okay. I'm going to confirm the proof request within 4 hours. They're going to set up the copy and they're going to give me an email within 4 hours. Simply click on Proceed to Checkout. The checkout link will take you to your Amazon account to purchase the proof. Shipping's only about $5. And then it's going to send it to me. Now, in order to do all this, you have to have an Amazon account, and you're going to have to create an Amazon Kindle account. Okay, but you do need a regular Amazon account. And because that's how we buy things on Amazon. It's that simple. All right, about 4 days after I submitted this on Amazon Kindle, I got this in the mail from Amazon. Isn't that awesome? So I get to play around and see which fonts I like best, which colors I like best, the layout. I notice I don't want this big old buffalo on the back like that. So I redid it just like I showed you. And look at this, it's so much better. And look at that cute little buffalo. Anyway, I think it's really cute. And so it just gives me a better idea of what my next draft is going to look like, and it's going to motivate me to finish. And that's what it's all about. Let's let the world know who we are. We can do it ourselves. Oh, you don't want to become a bookseller? Many of us just want to share our books with family and friends, and maybe put our books in the libraries where our ancestors lived. Maybe we'll send a book to the Library of Congress, but that's about it. We're not interested in selling. But you can utilize all of the self-publishing tips that we've covered to buy a box of author copies. That's what they're called. So with what we're going to talk about today, self-publishing, you can go ahead and buy a box of author copies at the wholesale price, meaning just the price to print it, which will be around $5 each if your book is less than 200, if the book is less than 200 pages in general. Then you've got a box of books at your house, and you can gift them to your friends and family however you wish. Or you can sell them as autographed copies from your website or discreetly from your social media pages. But that's how you could sell your own books, but at your own discretion, your own speed. Just buy a box, keep it on your home. It's very economical when you buy a box of 30 or 40 at a time. Then the actual sales or the mailing cost is almost negligible. It becomes like 50 cents per book. Marketing is a whole nother animal. If you wish to sell your books, well, let's just say I haven't found the full secret yet, and I've been trying. But I might recommend that you check out these sources up here. Kindlepreneur.com, for Amazon books especially, has a ton of free videos. You sign up for a subscription, which is free. They send you all these amazing free videos, usually once a week. They're fabulous, and they will help you figure out all kinds of stuff if you're going to put your books on Amazon. How does Amazon help your books sell? How does Amazon do this? And this is Amazon Kindle. Kindle is on Amazon. It's owned by Amazon. So it's an excellent source. It's free, and they have webinars sometimes that are free. So I strongly suggest, and they'll probably even help you if it's not Amazon, but I don't know. That's my number one recommendation. Second one is AALBC.com, the African American Literary Book Club. Buy black, buy black. Oh my gosh, check it out. And you can notice that you can get a web page on their website, and I think it costs about $100 to set up your web page, and they never increase the cost. It never increases. I've been a member for, 6 years now, something like that. Check out the books that are there, and if you're going to buy a book from a Black person, buy it from them on AALBC instead of Amazon. Hello. That's how we can help each other. Okay, the next one would be for Apple. If you want to sell books on Apple, authors.apple.com/publish, and read that, and it'll tell you how to do it. I haven't done it yet, and I'm an Apple user. I really, really mean to do it. I just haven't gotten around to it. So the next one is Barnes & Noble. That's one of the few booksellers that are left. We have a couple of independent booksellers in Sacramento, California, but in general, Barnes & Noble, that's about it. So if you want to publish on them, you can look at their website and see how you can sell your book at Barnes & Noble. I hope you are as jazzed as I am about how easy sounding and economical it is to self-publish a draft, or what we call a proof, of your book in progress. I have purposely repeated these steps a bunch of times. Maybe the process will make more sense now. Okay, let's recap. If you don't know where to start on writing your book, I encourage you to complete the 5-point focus exercise. Create a research plan with a few goals. Nothing fancy. Keep it really simple just to try out this process. Next, fill out the 25-page template shell that I gave you. Fill out the title page, copyright, dedication, and introduction pages with at least a paragraph that fits your book topic. Please remember, you can change any of these things later. I just want to get you started with something really simple. Next, label your chapter headings with what is inside. So basically the goals that you have established for yourself. If you want to find out about your who person's mother, have a chapter that's just about his or her mother. But label the chapter headings. Then paste at least one genealogy document that has something to do with the chapter title. So put at least one genealogy document into each chapter and write a paragraph about what that document means to your research project goals. How does it fit? What does that document mean for your project, especially in the chapter that it's in? Does it prove your theory? Does it disprove your theory? Does it let you know that, I got to look here now? Write all that stuff in the chapter. You can write your notes in the chapter itself. Don't have post-it notes everywhere all over the place, and don't have handwritten notebooks. Put all of this stuff in the chapter right now. The questions you have, the theories that you've already tried and proved or disproved, write it all in the chapter. You're writing the book. Do it all now at the same time with the data there and everything. That's the way that you're going to start seeing connections. Oh, wow, I never noticed that before. Anyway, just a thought. So once you've done that and you've labeled all your chapter headings, then go ahead and refresh, rerun, update, however you want to look at it, the table of contents. So once you have already put the new titles on each chapter, if you redo the table of contents, you'll see all of that wonderfulness show up in the table of contents. Then you really know you're headed on the right track. And you're going to see those page numbers start to go up as you add more and more to each chapter. Add a few books to the bibliography just to test it so you see what it looks like when it prints out. Add your bio and your picture to the About the Author page. Okay. And then if you do have any appendices, like maybe you want to put a family tree there in the appendix, or maybe you have a community analysis, some scary looking spreadsheet, you could put that in the appendix and label the appendix with the title of whatever that is about. Let's see, we talked about the bibliography, we talked about the bio. Save your changes. Make sure that you always save your changes. Like every 5 minutes, I save my changes. And again, I have a separate backup drive so that I can save things on the backup drive, and I also pay for cloud service. So it's really important to save your work in multiple different places in case something happens to your computer or one of your modalities. So anyway, then so you've saved your changes to Word, then save the same manuscript, one you just did, you saved it to Word, now save it as a PDF file on your computer. It's the File menu, go down to Save As, and you'll have to look a little bit carefully and scroll down, but there is a .pdf file option, and go ahead and save it as a PDF file. Hey, now we can really get into having some fun with this part of the process. Okay, after you have a PDF file that has the bare basics of a book template, open a self-publishing account like kdp.amazon.com. Again, there are many other ones that you could choose. Lulu.com is a good one. Draft to Digital, that's draft, D-R-A-F-T, the number 2, digital.com. Again, I haven't really used that one, but there are some pros. Evidently, it will publish to Barnes & Noble automatically, as well as Amazon. So you might want to check that out. Okay, so let's see, what else? So you've got the PDF files, got the bare basics of the book template. You open a self-publishing account like Kindle, blah, blah, blah. The second page of items to fill out, if you're going to use Kindle, you're going to fill out a whole page, right? It's what's the title of your book, who's the author, what are some keywords, what's the category, that first page. On the second page of items, it's going to ask you to upload a cover. Well, you can make your own cover and upload that. It needs to be a PDF. That's a little tricky because there are lots of size, and you can look at the information, the questions and answers on Amazon, and it will tell you how to make your own cover if you want to do that. I suggest initially you just use the free cover creator within the program. You can make your own cover, but if you use the cover creator, all that minutia of the specific measurements, and it's really important, if you've got an 8 by 10 book, but your cover is only 6 inches by 9 inches, there's going to be a big problem. So use the cover creator and just play around with it. Play to your heart's content. Remember, you can always change it later. You can always upload a new cover. Super simple for free. So your create a book cover for free using Kindle Direct Publishing or Canva. There's an app called Canva, which a lot of people use. You can hire an expert. It'll probably cost you around $300 to have a cover made, or you can make your own cover. Save your cover as a PDF, then upload the PDF of your book cover and your book in order to print a book proof. There are a couple more pages of stuff you're going to have to fill out on Kindle, but you can always look at the video that I showed you. I'm going to give you the URL of that video so you can watch it over and over, and you can see all of the things that it entails. But that's what we're going to do. And anyway, so go through, follow the video, print a proof, let it come to your house, and please send me a picture of yourself. I want to see a picture of your face holding your first draft book, and I want to see a big old smile on your face. Kathy, Kathy, at Lynne Marshall.com, Lynne Marshall.com. I really want to see the look on your face when that book comes and you touch it and you see, wow, I am really writing a book. So just keep on going. Print a draft proof every month or so to motivate yourself to finish your big, beautiful book. Grow your book today using the methods we've talked about. Let the world know who we are. Wow, we made it. Did you ever think you would learn how to do something like this? Do you feel that it's as hard as you originally assumed it was, or do you think, man, that's easy, I can do that, or I can have my grandkids help me do it? There you go. Feel free to use the hints and tips of my Solving Your Mystery appendices of most of my books that will help you write and self-publish your books. Some of the things we've talked about here and many, many, many more are in that specific appendix in all of my books, except I don't think it's in the last one, the Dreamscapes. It may not be in that one, but it's in all the other ones. The QR code on this slide will take you to my Amazon page, my Amazon Kindle page, and you can check them out if you like. And if you'd like to chat with me, feel free to contact me at KathyLynneMarshall.com. I've got a few Facebook pages. One is entitled Kanika Marshall Art. Another is entitled The Ancestors Are Smiling. Another is Finding Otho. And then there's another one that's just for my artwork, which is Kanika Marshall. I do have a YouTube channel, and that's you can get from Kanika Marshall on the YouTube channel, and it has over 100 videos, many of which are how-to videos. And I have a lot of writing how-to videos, but you might want to contact me to get the specific URL. Most of those are listed. They're not listed. They're unlisted. Some of the places that ask me to give presentations prefer that I leave them unlisted. So if you want access to that, drop me a line. My Instagram is Kanika Marshall Art Books, all one word. And if you know anything about Roys and Carters in DC or Virginia or Ohio, please chat me up. That's my current project. Thank you so much. Now it's time for questions and answers, and we've got a lot of time left, so that's great. Okay, now it's time for questions and answers. Do you have any questions for me? Well, I have 3 questions for you. Number 1, is this self-publishing process easier or more confounding than you originally thought? And number 2, what feedback can you give me about how to improve this class? It's really, really important to me. I'd like to make it as good as it can so people will try it, because that's my number 3. Do you think you'll try these methods to self-publish your book in the near future? Contact me later at Kathy@KathyLynneMarshall.com. I'd love to chat with you, because I really, really want people to try any method, really. I don't care what method you use. It's just this method is in your control, and it's almost free, and you can get it done quickly if you want to. And so I would just love to have feedback, because I want to encourage more people to do it. Alrighty, thanks for coming.